Good evening, everybody. How we doing for another live Around the Ropes podcast? I almost choked on air there for a second. I'm trying to. And tonight we have it's the Long Island edition of the program tonight, as our Canadian brother in there, Costa, is not feeling well today. Costa, feel better, and from everybody here, hope you had a very happy birthday.
I agree. Hope you had a happy birthday, Costa. Sorry the Maple Leafs didn't win the cup, but that's okay.
Now, guys, let me throw it over to the man who's joining me tonight. Because, guys, as you can see, we're only a two-man booth tonight. Ryan, I saw you a couple of hours ago, so how you been?
Long time no see.
Exactly.
Nah, dude, it's I'm excited to talk about the stuff tonight, and also want to talk about a little indie wrestling tonight.
Yes, because, guys, we are debuting a new segment tonight. Still no name yet for this segment because we have to figure out a good name.
Mm-hmm.
But we will be diving into the world of indie wrestling because, guys, this segment will be a weekly thing now because basically myself and this man right here basically go to independent wrestling shows, seems like every week, in one way, shape, or form.
Correction. You go to them. I work them.
Well, actually, since we're going to go into indies, why don't I start off with the breaking news as far as what promotion is now working with us?
Oh, by all means, do tell.
And I think folks are going to be very excited by this announcement. That was a bad joke there. But guys, as you know, last week I was talking about going up to Excite Wrestling the week beforehand. And after speaking to them through Twitter, I can now safely say we are now working with Excite Wrestling based in upstate New York. Guys, you will be hearing a lot more about their stuff and a lot more about and having some of their talent on because they have a lot of shows coming up. So definitely it's nice to have them aboard. But Ryan, what are your thoughts on the news?
I'm very excited to hear about that. No, because Excited's been around for a long time, especially in the upper New York region. And they've had some great quality matches. They've had some of the top independent stars come through there, including a few notable ones. One of them, apparently has is all ego, Ethan Page. Someone who is better than you and you know it, MJF, and some guy who's an American Nightmare. Just saying.
Yeah, but I'm glad to have them on board. And guys, we're going to get more into independent wrestling a little bit because we should be joined tonight actually by a guest because in 2 weeks from tonight, is it exactly 2 weeks from tonight? I'm trying to think here. It would be, I want to make sure I give the right date.
No, it's next Saturday, the 29th.
Next Saturday, 29th, up in Rome, New York. Immortal Championship Wrestling presents the Road to Immortality, where they will be doing their first ever Rumble match, where the winner will be crowned the new.
Oh, hold on, you gotta do a little backtrack on this story.
Well, I was about to get to that because originally, when this match was first announced at the last show, which Ryan was the esteemed ring announcer for, they did announce that it was going to be that the winner got a number one contender title, became number one contender, and got a title match at their Immortality show, which is their WrestleMania show.
I think it would be called Immortal Things 4, which takes place in July.
Yes, and so then it was reported that their champion at the time, Bill Collier, was injured, and he had to relinquish the title. So then it was decided that the winner of this match now next Saturday will now become the new champion. And folks, there's a lot of big names in this Rumble. A lot of potential names could win this. You got guys like Blaze Haram who are in it, Ben Hameen, Mike Skyros, and a lot of the other big names that you guys. And one of them will be joining us tonight by the name of Richie, the Madman. Will be joining us at 8:30. So definitely stay tuned for that. And like I said, folks, we'll get more into the independent scene in a little bit because we also have some other independent stuff we want to get to. We do have our first comment coming in from our buddy Zubin. Hey Zubin, how you doing tonight, buddy?
The Zubineta.
But Ryan, before we get into what's happening in the independent scene, I want to get to one story that happened with WWE last week,
Sure.
and that was an email that got sent out. And in this email, because there's been a lot of discussion, if you listen to other podcasts, listen to other shows, there's been a lot of discussion that since Vince is back, he's in control of creative. Obviously, we saw the Monday night after Raw. It looked like a Vince ran creative.
Boy, did it ever.
And hold on, let me just get this comment from Zubin quickly. He writes, "Congratulations, John, on your new opportunity." Thank you, Zubin. I appreciate that. But in the email, it was said that Vince is not in control of creative, and that basically he came back for the sole purpose of making sure that the transaction, because at that point, you knew when he came back, you knew they were going to sell the company.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to make sure when they came back, he wanted to make sure that they got what they wanted.
Oh, absolutely.
And Zubin says hi to you, Ryan.
What's up, Zubin neighbor?
But I mean, Ryan, what are your thoughts on the whole thing? Obviously, this is going to get into later on. We get into the draft that's happening. But what is your whole thoughts on this whole email thing that came out?
I I had a feeling that it was going to be Vince. I mean, Vince coming back and excuse me, and authorizing the sale, because whether you want to believe it or not, for those out there, WWE is Vince McMahon's baby. He's the one that took pretty much his father's regional independent promotion, as they called it back in the day, and pretty much expanded it into what it is today, a massive global phenomenon. So it's all his. And to be honest, if I was the company that bought them, I would rather have it signed off from the main man himself, not someone else in the company. No disrespect towards like Nick Khan or Triple H or anything, but if I was them, their mentality is they want it from the actual main guy himself. God, that way, in retrospect, they can probably say, okay, you know what, the main guy himself has signed over the sale, which means it's legitimized. Because imagine if Nick Khan signed off on it, but then Vince McMahon, being all senile, tries to get it back, and that would be a whole massive legal issue.
Well, then the joke could be that a Khan tried to destroy WWE. Just a different Khan.
Yeah, it's NK, not TK.
Yeah. But you look at this whole thing, and obviously this will get into our discussion later on, because they're going to be having the WWE draft, which I think starts next Monday, if I remember correctly.
I think it's next Friday.
Yeah, because I know they said it was right around the time, that the NFL draft is happening.
Hold on.
So while Ryan looks that up, I actually failed as a host while Ryan's looking it up, guys. If you want to follow us on social media, no, go ahead, Ryan.
No. So apparently they're starting next Friday, and they're ending it on that Monday.
Yeah, I remember.
Because it's right before Backlash, before they go to Puerto Rico.
That's interesting that they would do it. Well, it would make sense. I guess they want to use Backlash as like that
payoff.
That show, so to speak.
That payoff, which actually, before John gets back into the social media thing, there was something I do want to talk about WWE wise.
Okay.
And I spoke to this to you earlier. So apparently this whole thing with the draft was kind of Triple H's idea, because apparently with the draft starts a clean slate, which means from a few insiders saying that this draft could be the start of the Triple H era, with Backlash potentially being the final send off of the old style era.
Let me ask you this. So, do you buy it though?
I kind of do.
In what way?
I kind of do, because We've all known how Triple H has run Monday Night Raw and SmackDown these last few months. How it actually became, how it actually gained notoriety again. Instead of having the worst Monday Night Raw in history a couple weeks ago.
You bring that up, and I read something a couple weeks ago. They said since Hunter took over creative, I think they said Monday Night Raw has seen a 4% increase in viewership, and I think SmackDown has seen like a 6% increase.
Well, yeah, because you know why? Because it's called World Wrestling Entertainment. What's the word? Besides the first word, what's the second word? Wrestling. Entertainment is last, which means that wrestling takes more precedence. Just saying.
Well, because I also look at it this way. I think since Hunter took over, I think the best way to look at it is, if I remember correctly, I think SmackDown's ratings have been like basically above 2.
Yeah, and they haven't been like that since I think before the pandemic. I think right when they moved over to Fox like 3 years ago.
Yeah,
I mean, 4 years ago.
Granted, we're talking about a company who, in the Attitude Era, was pulling in 8, 9s, and 10s.
Yeah, but I said this before when we were talking about the ratings stuff a long time ago. The difference between back then and now, there was no social media, there was no YouTube, there was no Hulu, there was no Peacock, there was nothing. All the old school way of watching old wrestling shows was to find a VCR and VCR tapes and record it and pray to God you actually got it without any bullshit interruptions from commercials.
But it's going to be, I'm very curious to see, and we'll get more into it after we get, after our independent segment. But I'm very curious to see about this draft because I'm curious to see now. I mean, we saw what Hunter was able to do with NXT, and he had a limited budget there.
He pretty much made NXT like the top brand in WWE.
Yeah, I mean, he basically, and originally that was never supposed to be the plan.
Nope.
But I think now that you have Hunter and he has complete control now over SmackDown and Raw, and there is no budget per se.
Not only that, there's no bullshit segments on Raw or SmackDown.
No, there's no.
You remember what? For example, remember Alexa Bliss's "This Is Your Life" to Bayley?
Oh God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or how about Bobby Lashley's sisters?
Isn't one of them currently?
Yes.
In AEW?
Yes. Moving on.
Okay. Oh, you knew where I was going with that one.
Yes. Moving on.
Okay.
What was the other thing? There was another thing. Oh yeah, back when they had 205 Live, there was a weird fucking segment. I remember seeing this too because I was there live. It was Brian Kendrick mocking. Oh God, I forgot who it was. But also there was a fucking clown that showed up. I'm like, what kind of shit is this?
Yeah, okay, but then you remember the joke when 205 Live was around? If you wanted to have the bigger guys, you'd have to call it 405 Live.
Pretty much. but you get the point. You get the point. There's no stupid bullshit segments like they used to.
No.
Because you know why? Because it's more wrestling. And also, speaking of that, ever since Triple H came over, have you noticed the matches have actually gotten pretty good?
But also, you notice the other thing, and like I said, we'll get more into this after the indie segment. You also don't have how many times have we seen WWE that every Monday you're getting the same matches?
Oh my God!
I think since Hunter took over control, I don't think you've seen a repeat match.
Last night they had Lashley. Last night I would say they had Lashley and Theory, but to be fair, they haven't done that in a while, so I kind of give them that.
Yeah, but the thing is, how many weeks was it where we were getting Lashley and Lashley and Theory, and it was we were getting it every week on Monday Night Raw, and it'd be the same result every time.
I agree.
So to me, it's stupid, I guess. But let's do this because our guest should be here in about 15 minutes. So let's get into the independent stuff because I know we have a lot to get to with that, and we'll get back in WWE stuff in a second. Hey, got a comment here from our brother over in the UK, Mr. David Reynolds. And he goes, "Hey fellas, suggestion on discussing the upcoming draft a week from Friday, plus King and Queen of the Ring being replaced." Yes, David, thank you. We will get into that as well.
Yeah, David. Like I said, the draft starts next Friday and it ends on the Raw before Backlash. But was it Night of Champions? We'll get to that later on.
Yes. But guys, like I said, we're going to be doing a segment on the show now every week where we're going to be looking strictly at the independent scene. Obviously, as many of you know, Ryan is a ring announcer for several of the promotions in the Northeast. Too many of them for me to list off. I'll put it this way, folks. The better question would be is what promotions does Ryan not work with? Am I wrong?
No, you're right.
Now, the first thing I want to get to is you actually just made your debut with a new company.
Yeah, I did. So this past, actually, I'm going to backtrack a little bit. Saturday night, I did something I never thought I have done in a long time, and that was attend a wrestling event and not work it. It was weird. I haven't done shit like that in years.
No, finish your.
No. Go ahead.
Because apparently David knew exactly what.
God damn it, David! You ruined it for me. You ruined it. Let me tell my first part first, then I'll tell that. So Saturday night, I made an impromptu trip to Bayshore, New York, and check out VPW's Blood, Sweat, and 17 Years, which is their anniversary event. And they drew really well. They actually ran out of chairs. So I think they were looking at over 300 people.
They usually do well.
Yeah, they did well. I remember years ago, they used to go to the Deer Park Community Center. Many years ago, then somehow the town of Babylon decided to make it into a town rec center and not have any wrestling. Yeah, what fans they are. Town of Babylon. Oh yeah, which by the way, you can find them on TikTok because there are videos of the officials actually telling them to fuck off. Telling, the village, the people that live in the residents to fuck off.
Okay. We've now pissed off the entire town of Babylon.
No. Just City Hall because they know what they did.
Oh boy.
Corruption.
Okay. Yeah. Ryan, moving on.
Anyway. This is why we should have people in offices who are not 65 plus years old.
Moving on.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I offending you, Mr. Blaine?
No, Ryan. First of all, this is not a political show. And second off, we both live on Long Island. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we don't live in Babylon, so we're good.
Yeah, but some of us have to drive through Babylon.
Yeah, drive through, not stop. Anyway,
well, depends.
VPW, they had a phenomenal show. My top matches of the night, in my opinion, were Desmond Cole against Kevin Tibbs. Oh. Also, John's favorite wrestler, Alvin Alvarez, taking on Adam Kane in a Bayshore street fight. And it was you can catch VPW on social media, and actually their next event is on May the 6th at the Sports Arena in St. James. So make sure to follow Victory Pro Wrestling. But this past Sunday, I made my announcing debut with a little-known company called Deadlock Pro Wrestling, a.k.a. DPW. Now, for those who don't know what DPW is a very... Chris Danger.
I have no idea who that is.
David, can you clarify for that?
Why? While you do that, I'm gonna do some work here and look to see who Chris Danger is.
Okay, so DPW is a very I would say very fast up and coming promotion based out of the Carolinas, which started as a podcast by a couple of gentlemen, and they decided, let's run a wrestling show and see what happens. Oh boy, they know how to run a promotion. And also, by the way, John, I messed up on the number of subscribers that they have.
Okay.
Remember I told you they had 15,000?
Yeah.
Swap the numbers.
Oh, geez. He clarifies He's a wrestler from DPW.
No shit.
And I'm looking here right now. The last thing I have here is a month ago they did a show apparently, and supposedly he did a promo where he quits.
Yeah, he didn't quit.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Dave, if you go to DPW's YouTube channel, there's that whole segment in there. He didn't quit. It was a tease.
But go ahead.
No, I got the call. I got the call earlier in the week because this was their. But anyway, this was their first time leaving the Carolinas. This is their first time on the road, and of course they had to go to the Mecca known as the Phil Sheridan Building in beautiful Ridgefield Park, New Jersey. I called it something else as well as a few other people, but I'm not going to say it on the air. Bite your tongue, John.
I'm not saying anything.
But I'm not going to lie. Normally, I'm never nervous for a show. But I was nervous for this one. I'm going to be straightforward right now, live on the air. Because I didn't know what to expect. Because there were times where I've done one-offs in promotions, and the fans would just rank on me. They would hate me. They would boo me because I wasn't their main announcer. And there's one particular company in Queens that definitely pulled that shit with me, and I'm not going to say that again. But first of all, it was sold out. And when I say sold out, they ran out of chairs, and it was standing room only. John saw the photo. I'm sure anyone that follows DPW saw it as well.
Yeah.
They broke the attendance record for the building. And when I first stepped out of the curtain, and the crowd actually, because obviously in Jersey, everyone knows who the hell I am. So the fact that I got a holy shit chant when I got into the ring, and I said, wait, was that for me? And they were like, yep, that's for you. I'm like, wow, okay, I am in. And let me tell you, the energy, the atmosphere, the matches were fucking phenomenal. Like this past Sunday, now I've seen it in person, why DPW is possibly one of the, I'm going to be straightforward right now, and I deal with a lot of wrestling promotions out there, and if I get chastised for telling the truth, I'm sorry. DPW is possibly one of the best independent promotions in the world going right now. I mean, on the card, I can tell you straight off, we kicked it off with Above the Rest, which is Gabriel Sky and Tristan Ty taking on MSP. Where before the match even started, it was announced by yours truly that the winners were going to be crowned the new number one contenders for the DPW World's Tag Team titles. That's probably because of the debut thing. Thank you, David. I appreciate that. Second matchup, was a four-way match between Diego Hill, LeBron Cozone, Aiden Priest, and Bojack. Now, mind you, Bojack is one big motherfucker, but he can move. 385 pounds, yeah, he can move like a fucking cruiserweight.
How tall is he?
A little bit taller than me.
Jesus Christ.
And he does the pounce perfectly. Like, the pounce?
Yeah. So basically, he's a building with legs.
Pretty much.
He's a building with legs, and if you piss him off, you're probably not going to survive.
And also the fact that when his entrance hit, everyone in the crowd got up out of their seats.
Oh, jeez.
Talk about goosebumps. But now we're getting into another matchup. Now, originally, due to flight issues for both individuals, Hyan and Emi Sakura could not make it on the show. Hyan's flight was canceled completely. Emi Sakura's flight kept getting delayed. But she was able to actually make it to after the show and do a post-show meet and greet, so I commend her for that.
And I saw the picture of that, and the line was wrapped around the
ring. Oh, yeah. And mind you,
also, they probably got out of there.
mind you, also they had to wait another 45 minutes for her to show up.
Oh, jeez.
Totally worth it. But however, a certain international pop star by the name of Becca came out and, thanked everyone for the full house, even though nobody knew she was going to be there, and issued an open challenge. Who answered the open challenge? Why none other than the kick demon, Janai Kai.
Yeah.
But wait, there's more.
Before you get to that, we have one comment coming in. I just want to get to it quickly. Andrew chimes in here going, hi, nice to see you all. Hey, Andrew, how you doing? By the way,
¿Qué pasa, Andrew? What's up?
Andrew, I hope you're feeling better. I know you just got admitted to the hospital.
Oh, my
I hope
God.
you're feeling better, and I hope the surgery you had was a success, my brother.
Okay, so next up was which by the way, also another lesson that I learned about DPW. They don't call the matches fatal 4-ways or triple threat matches.
What do they call it?
3-ways or 4-ways.
So if you have 5, it's a 5-way? Oh, okay. So the question is, if they had a Rumble, what would they call it? A 30-way?
No, we call it a Rumble. But we had a 3-way matchup, which is the Golden Opportunity Qualifier. Now, in that matchup was I know Alec Price was in the match.
Would you like me to pull up the card?
Please.
You got it.
I'm trying to run the card off in the top of my head. And those two individuals I am missing right now.
Just give me a second here. Andrew chimes in here while I looked it up. Andrew chimes in here and says surgery is actually this Thursday. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, Andrew, good luck, and you'll do fine. You're in good hands.
Yes, you are.
Let's see here. Events.
Whatever the 3-way qualifier was.
It's fine. Well, I just had to look. They have a whole list here on Cage Match. I ended up just looking. I saw Ridgewood Park. I go, yep, there's the one.
Yep.
Okay, let's see here. You talk about the tag title match, right?
That's the main event. I'm talking about the 3-way qualifier.
3-way qualifier. Jay Malichi.
Oh, Jay Malachi. That's
Malachi.
it. Jay Malachi, Alec Price,
Jackson Drake.
Jackson Drake. Okay. Jackson Drake is fucking 19 years old. Jay Malachi is 18 years old. And pretty much, Alec Price was the oldest out of all three of them. He's only 22. And those three had a fucking phenomenal match. I'm like, holy shit. It was Jay Malachi was victorious and earned himself an opportunity for the golden opportunity. Then we had a brief intermission because, we needed a fucking breather. Then we come back from intermission and we go into the DPW National Championship as the current champion, and I kid you not, Andrew the Giant Everett took on BK Westbrook. Phenomenal matchup between these two gentlemen. Absolutely incredible. And then we get into the women's match of the night as Nicole Matthews, Nicole Matthews from Shimmer and all the other places, took on the Pink Striker, Miyu Yamashita. I'm telling you that right now, that match was wow. A lot of technical aspects between the two of them.
Yeah.
And also one more thing I forgot to mention. I've never done this in DPW, but now I love it. So each match had a time limit. Okay. Justin Roberts and anyone on AEW would say the thing of 10 minutes that passed on the time limit, 10 minutes remaining. 5,
Yeah.
Actually would say that over the PA system.
Okay.
That threw me off guard because I've never done that before in any other independent shows I've done. But I like it.
It's nice. It's nice when a company likes to actually stick to a time for the matches.
They also did it in Japan too because they have a good following in Japan. And now we get to the main event. It was a tag team Jersey street fight as the team of the Bulldozer, Matt Tremont, and the young prodigy, Marcus Mathers, where on that night they were called the Bozo Bulldozers, challenged the current reigning and defending DPW World Tag Team Champions, the team of Kevin Koo and Dominic Guarini. Violence is forever.
How was that match?
Ha 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 ha.
Okay.
And what really got me was that when Tremont's entrance came out, because he comes out to Separate Ways by Journey.
Yeah.
The entire fucking crowd not only got up on their feet, but they actually came up the ringside and started banging on the mat to the beat of the music.
Oh, jeez.
It was like okay, I'm not gonna lie. It felt like I was working a GCW event. I swear to God. If you've ever seen GCW with how that atmosphere of the crowd is, imagine that times 10.
And mind you, in a much smaller venue.
For the most part, yeah. And and actually, I can gladly say this. Looks like you're gonna be seeing more of me in DPW.
Oh, it became official?
It became official Sunday night after the show.
Gotcha.
So basically, the thing is, whenever they come to the area, I'm their guy. But there may be a slight opportunity that yours truly might make it to the Carolinas.
Nice.
Which is a market that I've always wanted to get my foot into for a long time.
Nice.
Folks, if you want to see, that incredible Garden State debut of DPW, as well as their other past events, make sure to check out DPW Demand. DPW Demand, that's their streaming service for $14.99 a month. I promise you, you will not be disappointed.
No, doesn't.
And people say that indie wrestling is dead, especially in Flair country. No way.
I disagree with that. I don't think indie wrestling is dead at all. Especially where the last couple of shows that I've been to have been better than some of the professional shows I've been to.
Yeah.
Which
and one more thing, John, had you been there, you probably would have been like the entire fucking show. I know I was, and I was working it.
Yeah. What was I going to say? Before we get to what we have coming up, because we got a lot of independent wrestling coming up in the next couple of weeks, there is one match I do want to talk about, and it's been going around the internet big time. Hold on, we got one more comment coming in here from our buddy David saying, unfortunately, I can only get the highlights on YouTube downside of being in the UK.
I think they're on the website, DPW's website. I don't know if you have access to that out in the UK. But eventually the highlights will come on DPW's YouTube channel.
Yeah, definitely check that out. But there was one match that happened last week that has been getting incredible buzz around the internet. And Ryan, you know what match I'm talking about, because I feel like I've been talking about this match so much the last couple of days.
Oh.
Yeah. Over at ISPW, which is run by Tommy Fierro. Definitely go check them out. They run phenomenal shows. They had a cage match. They had their show last week called Rage in a Cage.
Oh, yeah.
And their two main events were both, hence the fact, in a steel cage. Just in case.
I think the women's match was in one with Vicious Vicky.
And Tina San Antonio.
Yep, that's it.
But then you had on the other side, you had 49-year-old Crowbar. Yes, folks, Crowbar.
AKA Devin Storm.
Yeah. In a match against Rick Recon. And folks, if you have not had a chance to go check this out, I would highly recommend you check this out. It's a 35-minute match.
Oh.
But it doesn't feel like 35 minutes.
No, it doesn't.
Because there's a few moments in this match where I'm sitting there going, they pulled it off. There's one moment where they have a door in the corner. Now, I don't know if you saw this part of the match. They have the door in the corner, and Crowbar's kind of leaning up on it.
No, I didn't see that.
And also, you see, now, mind you, Rick Recon is not the type of guy, he's not a runner type.
No.
But he runs to the opposite corner, almost does the Dean Ambrose thing, where if you remember, Dean Ambrose used to take the one leg and hop on it and do the U-turn, and ended up spearing Crowbar through the door.
That's not the spot that I saw that made me go, holy shit.
I was about to get to that spot. So then, also, they got a table, because this was a very weird match, because normally when you hear a steel cage match, normally it's if you exit the steel cage, you win. But apparently the stipulation was the winner had to be pinned or submitted in the ring.
Usually it's either a pinfall submission or exiting the cage with both feet hitting the floor.
Yes. So all of a sudden, Crowbar goes out, gets a table, brings the table in, brings it to the corner of the ring. So if you're looking at the ring from the entrance ramp, it's the corner that would be towards the back left. Right, if I'm remembering correctly.
I think so.
Puts the table there. Recon goes on it. Now, also, now again, mind you, folks, Crowbar is 49 years old. Doesn't go to the top rope. Oh, no. You would think that's as far as he would go. He went to the top of the steel cage. And if I remember correctly, did a leg drop.
Yeah.
Onto Rick.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
There was another match that happened 24 hours prior to that has everybody buzzing as well.
Which one?
So, 24 hours earlier in the state of New York was a company called Outlaw Wrestling.
Okay.
One of the matches was Alpha Jr. versus the Notorious 187 Homicide. And there was an interference by some Samoan werewolf by the name of Jacob Fatu.
Okay.
And they already announced for their next event, it's going to be the Notorious 187 Homicide versus Jacob Fatu.
Oh, I have to see that. I have not had a chance to see that match yet.
And also, in the main event, an impromptu street fight happened. As always ready, Matt Cardona took on, I kid you not, his co-star from the last wrestling match, Ramin Karimloo.
Oh, jeez.
And by the way, folks, you can watch the entire event in its entirety of Outlaw Wrestling on, I think it's Rolling Stones' Twitch channel.
Yes.
They stream the entire event, which I think in 24 hours, they had over 700,000 views. Because
also they had, if I'm not mistaken, I think half the cast was there.
Yep.
That's why I think Rolling Stone was there.
I'm so pissed I didn't go to that show. I'm so pissed.
Guys, definitely, if you get the opportunity to see the match that Ryan was talking about, the match that I was talking about, definitely go recommend seeing it. It's going to be worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and I'll say this right now, I've seen a few Rick Recon matches. I think that was the best one he's had.
I agree.
Because, you know the old saying, Ryan, you could attest this being in the industry. You may win a match, but the tougher job is to get yourself over with the crowd.
Oh, he got over.
But it's weird, though, because the way he's positioned in that company, he's already over as it is. But this match really got him over.
Oh, yeah. And I think, if not mistaken, they're going to be doing it again.
In 2 weeks.
Next week.
Next week. And this one is actually, there's another stipulation that they added into that one.
Oh, please do tell.
Not only are they going to do a steel cage, because why just leave it as a steel cage, folks?
Sure, why not?
It's going to be a steel cage. There's going to be tables involved. There's going to be ladders involved. There's going to be chairs involved. It's a steel cage TLC match.
It's a clusterfuck. That's what it is.
Here's a better way I can put it. If one of them doesn't walk out of there on their own, don't be shocked.
Medic!
With what those two did to each other, But also, the one thing I liked with that match is the ending afterwards. When all of a sudden, because as a lot of people know, Tommy is running another show called 80s WrestleCon, happening in the beginning of May.
Which is happening the following week.
Yes. And they're going to have a convention beforehand, and then at night they're going to run an ISPW show. And the main event for this one is going to see Bull James taking on Rick Recon. They actually use the ending of this match to set up that match. Even though it's been known, it's been advertised already, but they really set it up. And oh my God, because at one point they turn around. Obviously, people know Rick Recon's manager is Dave LaGreca from Busted Open. I don't know if you can say manager, mouthpiece, however you want to put it. Advocate, whatever.
He's something.
All of a sudden, Dave's in the ring, and next thing you know, when at the end, kind of lead into what Bull James, all of a sudden Crowbar gets the microphone, turns around and goes, Rick, thank you. Dave, screw you. Crowbar walks out with, I think, his wife, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Also, you see Bull James, Maven, and Tina San Antonio come walking because they're part of the little group. And Bull James basically looks at Rick and looks at Dave and goes, "You think your boy here got worse?" He goes, "It's gonna be 10 times worse what I do to him at the 80s WrestleCon." Which, by the way, the other stipulation now is Maven is going to be handcuffed to Dave LaGreca, so there's no outside interference.
Oh, good Lord Almighty!
But they got you emotionally invested in it. So definitely, folks, go check out ISPW. They're one of the many promotions that run in the state of New Jersey, and they do have some good events. Yes, is it a lot of events? Yes, but they're always top-notch events.
Speaking of events, besides ISPW, there are a couple of more I like to bring up, and they're going to be happening in the span of, I say about a week and a half, because yours truly will be on them.
Go right ahead, because then I had one that's coming up this weekend, but go ahead.
No. We're going to do it in date order. And actually, while you talk about that, I need a refill. So I will be right back, folks. John, take it away.
We actually have a comment coming in from Billy, our good friend Billy, who says, "Hey guys, support independent wrestling. Hope to see you all in Jersey this weekend. Fingers crossed I make it down." Billy, like I said, be great to see you again. But actually, Billy, you just missed it. We talked about the whole Rick Recon match. But I want to get now because Pro Wrestling Magic is doing their 8-year anniversary show this Saturday at the Mecca, 106 Bergen Avenue. Definitely go check them out. And they have a loaded card. You're going to see, let me actually pull up the card for you now quickly, guys, because like I said, the card is stacked for Magic. And again, Magic does well, so they usually do well. But let me just pull up the card for Magic because this card is stacked. And again, hopefully, thank you, Billy. Thanks, Billy. Let's see here for Magic on Saturday. You got Vargas, who was your Chad Adams Memorial winner, taking on Kerr for the Pro Wrestling Magic Heavyweight Championship, which also has been reported that it will open up the show. That match is being sponsored by our good friends over at the Bob Culture Podcast. Definitely go check them out. Rob Williams, Chris Nunez, they put on some great stuff, so definitely go check them out. According to the graphic, it's just for the Dark Arts Championship. I'm not sure if it's going to be a double title yet, but Steve Off will be taking on Smiley. For the Pro Wrestling Magic Women's Championship, Ruthless Lala will be taking on Kelsey Reagan. Notorious Mimi will be taking on Devlin Maccabee. Again, Notorious Mimi is in the position right now where she actually has she's essentially the number one contender. She's, as they call in Pro Wrestling Magic, she has the Fast Pass. So she has that match. For the 6-man tag team match, Prolific will be taking on Project. Vinny Pacifico takes on Jaden Newman. Steve Pena, who, folks, mind you, still has the keys to the kingdom, will be taking on Alex Ryman. Also in I guess you could say, a showcase match, Magic takes on Travis Jacobs, and we will also have as it could be put perfect, a open challenge from your current Pro Wrestling Magic Tag Team Champions of Death Row, which is Bruno and John Hella. So definitely, folks, it is a loaded card. Magic, the last couple of shows have been good, so definitely go check them out. And welcome back, Ryan.
You were talking about the show. I didn't want to be rude and interrupt.
No, you're good. Did you see the comment that was just posted?
I did, nerd.
Okay, fine. I'm a nerd.
F you.
I'm a slim trim nerd. Let's put it that way.
F you.
Moving on. definitely go check out Pro Wrestling Magic. If you cannot get to the venue for whatever reason, you can check them out on IWTV. I think doors open at 6, and I think show usually starts about 7 o'clock or so. But if it's like the last couple of shows, it's going to be an electric crowd. But let's go on to next week, because there is a shit ton of shows next week.
Yeah.
Of course, you got ISPW next Friday, but Ryan, there's another show happening next Friday.
Why, yes! I gladly will tell you all about it. Hoya Shalili, why do I sound like I'm from the land of Ireland?
Okay. Moving on.
What?
I was gonna say, a few people had the honor of seeing you dance the end of last year.
That is true. That is true. I say, jump on it.
Go on. There's a show happening Friday.
What?
No, you.
Next Friday.
Yes, Ryan, next Friday.
Well, you said this Friday. Make up your mind, dude. Hi, Maron, and you're the host. Hi.
Go.
Next Friday in the Boogie Down Bronx, New York, at St. Helena's Gym. It's Invictus Pro Wrestling as they present In Bloom 3. Now, for those that have seen In Blooms 1 and 2, you know for a fact that's one of our marquee events. And one of the matches during that show that will be taking place is the official Climb for Clout ladder match. Which I'm sure that, John, if possible, could you pull up said graphic?
Well, I can't pull up on here. I can grab it on my phone.
I know, Mr. Blaine.
Hey, Maron, but go on with whatever you're talking about.
Actually, if you can, maybe pull up the whole card.
Sure.
Because I can't do it on my end because, people pay for this face and they want to see it.
Okay, here we go. For the tag team titles, Fight or Die takes on the team of Hired Gun, Inc.
Which is the team of Brute Van Slyke and Garrett Holiday.
Making their Invictus debut, by the way, if I remember correctly.
That is correct.
Triple threat match in the women's division as Ruthless Lala takes on Gabby Ortiz and Abby Jane.
In other words, Ruthless Lala versus two women that I'm so sorry for them in the match.
Yes. Let's see here. You got the Climb for the Clout ladder match.
Climb for Clout, yep.
Which I'll get to that in a second.
Mm-hmm.
For the Invictus Women's Championship, Clara, how do you pronounce her last name?
La Chica Clara Carreras.
Has an open challenge, so who knows who's going to answer that challenge.
Okay, I'll answer the challenge. No, I'm just kidding. I'll answer the challenge. We'll do the finger poke of doom. 1, 2, 3, she wins.
Right, I can't see challenge. No.
Hey, it's 2023. Anything's possible, dude.
And then you have you also have the Outfielders.
Yep.
Taking on Victorium.
Which I think that's BRG and Lucas Chase.
You also have, for some reason...
And also, the Outfielders, which is the team of Weber Hatfield and Shay McCoy.
the Grand Championship, which will be contended between Nikolai White and Ken Broadway.
Oh.
And you're also going to have you also have Big Trouble Ben Bishop, Big Trouble Ben Bishop, taking on PJ Savage
for the Social Media Championship.
Yes.
As PJ Savage, who is the previous holder of the Climb for Clout briefcase, will be cashing in his briefcase for that opportunity on that night. And I think that's the main event of the night. And also, there's one other match that I think might, tickle some people's fancies in a good way, including Mr. Blaine. And that is a grudge match between the ephemeral queen, Edith Surreal, and wrestling's richest prize, the All-Father himself, Mr. Darius Carter.
Yes. And folks, if you remember from their last encounter, yeah, those two had a match of the night.
And they're running it back again because why the hell not?
Yeah, exactly. So that is happening on next Friday.
Next Friday. But what who's in the Climb for Clout ladder match?
I can't find the graphic.
It was on there.
Is it under the Invictus Facebook page?
Yes.
Okay, hold on. Oh, here we go. Okay. So we have for the Climb for the Clout ladder match. It's Montekia versus Jay Bougie versus Gabriel Sky versus Brandon Watts with Randy Summers versus Jack Tomlinson versus Jarrett Diaz versus Killian McMurphy.
With Big Dog.
And for that one.
Yes.
That one is happening next
Friday.
Next Friday. Now, next Saturday.
Hi, yes.
Next Saturday.
Oh, yes. Next Saturday, the 29th. I will be in the ring, once again, announcing in a little place called Broadway, New Jersey for WrestlePro as they present Anarchy. Now, off the top of my head, there were a few matches I can gladly... Well, actually, a couple of them because I think these were the two more key matchups, in my opinion. Unless you have the whole card up, John.
If you give me 30 seconds, I can definitely pull that up for you.
You know what? I will talk about one of the matches then that I have on the top of my head. So there's been a little bit of trouble brewing with a Dark Force making their way into WrestlePro, and that is Dark STG. Now, he's been eyeballing the WrestlePro Silver Champion, Fallah Bahh, for months and months and months and months. Well, it's about to come to an end, as for the first time in WrestlePro history, it'll be Fallah Bahh defending his title against Dark STG in a casket match.
God damn. I have some of the matches up,
but leave the big one for me.
You have Shot Through the Heart versus the Now. Just a tag title match, not just a tag team match. Nothing.
Which, by the way, you can see the Now at ISPW the night before. Now,
then you also have Trax and Victor Benjamin taking on the Ace of Space Academy. You see, I said the name correct.
Some people don't.
So I can't have LSG coming after me now.
Nope.
You also will have... Okay, here we go. I got the other matches here. We already talked about Dark STG versus Fallah Bahh. For the WrestlePro Women's Championship.
I forgot about that.
Lady Frost takes on the debuting Dasha Fuentes. Oh, wait. Is it Dasha Fuentes or just Dasha?
I think Fuentes. I think.
Dasha Fuentes.
Let's stick with that.
Then you also will see Bobby Wayward taking on CPA in the number one contenders match.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just announced another match yesterday, right? I don't know if you saw this one yet.
No.
Wait, I'm actually going to break some news to you?
Yeah.
Pat Buck versus Zach
Okay.
Clayton.
Okay. I did not know that.
Hold on.
Holy shit. Okay.
Wow.
Now here's the real question. Will JWoww show up?
I don't know. Oh, you're being rhetorical about it.
Yes.
Oh. And then, yes, there's like this big main event happening.
Oh.
You're really liking this main event way too much here, buddy.
Listen, with the story that's been brewing for a long time with this one, yes. Oh, it's making me tingly in my tongue.
Go on.
I said tongue. So I gotta get myself ready for this one. So the main event for WrestlePro Anarchy. It's a triple threat match for the WrestlePro Gold and interim WrestlePro Gold Championship as the interim champion LSG and the current WrestlePro Gold champion, the Iceberg Dion Rusman, will both have to face not only each other, but some Bayonne badass named Danny Moff in a tables, ladders, and chairs match.
Oh, my. Oh, sorry.
Ha. Ha, ha, ha. Take my money, take my money.
Okay, folks, as Ryan cleans up the little wet spot underneath his chin, there's also another event happening on next Saturday night up in Rome, New York, as we will have Road to Immortality happening. I was really trying to get a bad. Never mind. As you will have for the first time ever a Royal Rumble style match where the winner will become not originally. I have to just backtrack here a little bit. Originally, when this match was announced back at Immortal Combat 4, which again, this man right over here was the esteemed ring announcer for. It was announced originally that the winner was going to become the number one contender and have a championship match at Immortality, which I think is the right term.
No, it's Immortal Things.
Immortal Things, okay.
Immortal Things 4.
Happening this July in upstate New York.
Mm-hmm.
But Bill Collier, who was their champion, had to relinquish the title. So it was decided that the winner of this match next Saturday will not only become the number one contender, they're going to become the new ICW champion. And I happened to look over some of the names of the guys who are in this match, and this is a very, very stacked card here. Tell you how crowded it is. There's only the possibility of 4 debuts or 4 surprises.
Wow.
Yeah. Some of the guys who are going to be there, who are going to be in this Rumble. You have the team of Black and Yellow, which is Corey Jackson and Ying T, I think his name is.
Okay.
You also have, unfortunately, he was supposed to be our guest tonight. Richie, the Madman, is going to be in it. You also have Bobby Bates is going to be in it. Actually, a guy who you're going to see the night beforehand in the tag title match is also going to be in it. Mike Van Slyke. Is it Mike Van Slyke or
Brute?
Brute Van Slyke, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Hameen. Blaze Haram, Mike Skyros. And also, folks, I'd like to mention one other thing. They're going to also have a female in this match.
Whatever do you mean?
I think her name is Bam Bam. I think it is.
Ah, Karen Bam Bam.
Yes. So she will be in this match. I want to see if I can pull up the rest of the card here.
Excuse me.
Just bear with me 1 second. Also, we will see Garrett Halliday make his return to the ring. Obviously, he was supposed to have a match at the last show, but because he was beaten up backstage, he was not able to get into the ring.
By Nick Sullivan, apparently. Well, actually, no. Was it Nick Sullivan?
Yes. No, I don't think they ever clarified that it was definitely him.
No, I don't think it was him. So he was attacked by someone.
Because if you remember, Nick was in the ring when the attack happened.
Right.
So I don't think it was Nick. However, he will be defending the ICW Northeast Championship as he will be taking on the gentleman by the name of Surin Rain, I think his name is. Did I pronounce his name right?
Do you have a graphic on it, or?
Yeah, yes, I do. Right here.
Let's see. Saren Rain.
Surin Rain. Okay. So he will have a match.
Which, by the way, he's coming off a victory over Dr. Sleep, Anthony Gangone.
Yes, he is. We will also see, if you recall, they had a backstage confrontation at Immortal Kombat 4, but we will see Sergeant Fury taking on Bobby Bates.
Well, how would I have known if, I was announcing the show?
I'm just reading the description here. Good God almighty.
Yeah.
We will also have, in women's action, I'm not even going to try to, obviously, Kayla Sparks is their champion. I'm not going to
But of course.
butcher the other person's name.
Well, take the description off of the screen. Evie De La Rosa. Okay.
Now the question is going to be, can she stop the title reign of Kayla Sparks? Because Kayla, I think, has held that title now for
a while.
Over a year? I think she just hit 1 year recently.
I think so too. It's been a while.
And then I'm trying to see here who else will be what other matches. I think it's those two matches, and then you got the Rumble match. I'm probably missing one of the other matches. But yeah, guys, it's happening next Saturday. The address for the venue, if you want to get tickets, is at the Kennedy Arena, 500 West Embargo Street in Rome. Doors are open at 6. Show starts at 6:45.
It's a good venue too. I've done shows in there before.
So you definitely, if you have the opportunity, I would definitely recommend going to see it. And right, I think that's all for the independent stuff.
Well, I mean, there's another one that's happening in a couple of weeks. That's happening here on Long Island.
You know what? Why not? Let's get to it.
Well, actually, no matches have been announced, which I'm kind of surprised.
Yeah, but isn't it somebody's homecoming?
Oh yeah, someone who's a Creator Pro alum has traveled the world and happens to be a world champion. Oh yeah, how about Mr. Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF?
Yes, that is happening May 13th, if I remember correctly.
Yes, you are correct, sir.
All I know is I have shows that I'm basically going to starting this Saturday, going straight through till June 18th.
Jesus Christ.
Well, actually, hold on. I can actually get to that one because they actually have the graphic for that one. Well, it's sort of the graphic. But guys, happening June 18th at, of course, Richfield Park, New Jersey. BCW presents the Summer of Smash to honor the governor. I want to give him his proper title. AJ Pan's mom. They haven't announced any matches yet, but you'll see such stars as your current World Heavyweight Champion Darius Carter, your Women's Champion Vicious Vicky, who, by the way, at the anniversary show had the night of her career, in my opinion.
I agree.
You're also going to see Anthony Gangone, which means you're probably going to see some royalty there, more than likely. I'm just saying. And of course, you're going to see other wrestlers there. Christina Marie will be there. You name it. Get your tickets, guys. It's going to be an electric show. But guys, I hope you guys enjoyed our indie talk, which ended up becoming about an hour.
Not an hour, at least a half hour.
But hey, we covered everything.
But you know, maybe 45 minutes. But you know what? Not that many podcasts talk about indie wrestling. It's always about the same: WWE, AEW, Ring of Honor, Impact Wrestling, yada 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 yada. But it's the same song and dance, folks.
And guys, in the weeks to come, we will have more indie talk because, like I said, folks, between myself and the handsome ring announcer to my right, that would be this way.
Oh, me? Oh,
yes.
Okay.
We will be at a lot of independent shows. The other thing is we are still trying to come up with a name. So, folks, if you have a potential name, definitely send it to us on any of our social media accounts. We definitely would appreciate it. And yeah, every week now we are going to have more independent wrestling talk because we have to give support to the independent wrestlers. Because we had, when was it? We had Billy Fetzigan. Yeah, our return show that we did 2 weeks ago. And he made the comment in the interview, and I agree with him 100%. The guys and gals who you see right now on WWE and AEW, a lot of them weren't born and all of a sudden plopped right into WWE or plopped right into AEW or Ring of Honor or New Japan. They started off in the Indies. And you got to give some love to them because, guys, if you go to an independent show, it doesn't matter if it's Invictus, if it's Immortal Championship Wrestling, if it's your local one. You don't know if the guy or gal you're going to see in the ring could next week or in 2 weeks or in a year end up being on WWE or AEW. So you never know. There's one day we could see him on TV.
Well, I mean, after what happened after this past weekend, who knows? Anything's possible.
Yes, that's what I was saying. The man right here. But, guys, we're going to keep things moving right now because we got some stuff to talk about on the other side of the spectrum in regards to the WWE. Actually, no. Before we get to that, we're going to get to AEW. Because I really want to dive into this. It was reported that we're going to get another AEW show.
Oh, God.
Not the fact that we already have Dark Elevation, Dynamite, Rampage, and all the pay-per-views, and Ring of Honor, mind you. We're going to have another show. And I think there's going to be some sort of collision happening.
That's a horrible segue.
A good collision.
Still, that's horrible.
Redact what I just said. But guys, starting June 17th, AEW Collision will be started. It's going to be a 2-hour show happening every Saturday night. I think, starting at 8 o'clock.
Wait, hold on. Backtrack a little bit. June 17th?
Yes.
Then that date, then I hate to be that much of an asshole right now, but you know, time and whatnot. The date for the BCW show is incorrect.
Hold on, let me see something here.
Because on the thing it said Saturday, June 18th.
No. That's because I'm an idiot.
No, it says it on the poster too.
Oh. Whoops.
It says it on the poster. So Saturday, June 18th, 2023. It doesn't exist.
That's supposed to be Sunday.
I know. Because you mentioned June 17th. Wait, hold on. Hold on, carry the one. It doesn't add up.
So Anthony or AJ or anybody from BCW, if you're watching it, you might want to change.
You might want to change it now.
Also, you get 50, 60 people showing up to Ritual Park that day.
Yeah, you get people showing up on Saturday, and there's no ring.
And they'll be like, what happened? But I want to get into Collision. Because from reports that I read earlier today, originally it was supposed to be a C-level show. Which, again, I don't understand why you have to. You have Dark and Dark Elevation already. But supposedly, some Pepsi-loving, ice cream bar-loving guy named CM Punk is coming back.
Aye.
Oh, wait, breaking news. Punk's coming back.
Aye, Madman.
And the whole point of him coming back is to set up for the show. Because supposedly he will be the head guy on the show. Or the top guy, let me put it that way.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this, and to the people who are watching this, I want to get their opinion as well. Do you think Tony's overdoing it?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, okay. Now, I didn't know if you had something else to add to that.
No, I agree.
Because I don't understand the point of this now. Friday is already a tricky night as it is, because you got Friday night's always a tricky night for TV, but now you're going to throw it in on a Saturday? Especially you're in the summer. So the fact that you're going to be in the summer, and especially now we're not completely out of the pandemic, but we're not as in as it was a year ago or 2 years ago. If that makes sense.
No, you're right.
So people are going to go out, especially it's a Saturday. And also, how many goddamn independent shows run on a Saturday? I don't know, every one of them?
Only not the one we just mentioned, but you get the point.
My point is this. How are you going? And I know the big topic that everybody that are AEW faithful love to talk about is the ratings. You think Rampage pulls in a bad number? Collision's going to be 10 times worse. Because, again, nobody's going to watch it being that it's a Saturday. Yes,
unless you get it on the channel that, I don't know, everybody gets.
They are TNT.
Not that many people get TNT.
Okay, but this is going to be their... But then this goes back to... Then supposedly they also want to split the brand up. And have it be a split roster.
Isn't that why they have Dark?
Isn't that why they have Ring of Honor?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't understand what the hell he's doing here. I'm going to say this right now. If AEW ends up failing, it's going to be on Tony. And I hate to put it out there. I know I'm going to get chastised for it, but it's the goddamn truth at this point.
No, you're right. It's freaking overkill right now.
Yeah, I mean, so you got to realize that. Okay, so you got Monday night, you got Raw. I'm just talking about wrestling that we get on TV, not wrestling that's on YouTube or anything like that. Monday night, you got Raw. Tuesday night, you have NXT. Wednesday night, you have Dynamite. Thursday night, you have Impact Wrestling. Friday night, you have Rampage and SmackDown. Saturday, you're going to have Collision. You throw in a pay-per-view, you're going to have wrestling 24/7.
I think I said this to you also. If I were them, if I was, Tony Khan, I would change a couple of shows around.
Okay.
I would have Collision on Thursday nights.
I
hate to say it. No one really watches Impact Wrestling.
And it sucks. I think Impact Wrestling has pulled off some of the best storylines, which I want to get to that before we wrap up the show for tonight, because they just had their last pay-per-view called Rebellion.
Oh yeah, but I would move Collision onto Tuesday nights.
Thursday night, I thought.
No, Thursday night. Sorry, and then move Ring of Honor TV, which by the way is already taped. Move that shit to Saturday.
Yeah, I just think you're going to put live. Yes, granted, do I think they're going to pull in great numbers in the audience, in the crowd? Yeah, I think they're going to. AEW always does well in that.
But if you want to pull ratings, then you got to do it on like a Thursday night.
But not only that, it's not like we're talking Dynamite or with Raw or with even SmackDown. SmackDown doesn't really go into this thing, but every other of these shows is during the week, and most people work, so they're not going to go out like that.
No,
but you're going to turn around to somebody who's a diehard wrestling fan and tell them, oh, if you want to watch AEW Collision, you have to stay in your house from 8 to 10 on Saturday night instead of, I don't know, going out, enjoying yourself, I don't know, going on a possible date.
Partying, drinking.
All that.
Concerts, trying to have a social life.
Which apparently, according to some people, is a bad thing.
Apparently. But that's why I said, because, WWE did it for many years. They had Monday Night Raw live. They had Monday Night Raw live, and they had SmackDown after the SmackDown the next day live.
Yeah.
So why not try to recreate that with Dynamite on Wednesday and Collision on Thursday?
But here's my thing though. Okay. You're gonna keep it on Saturday. First of all, you're gonna bring in CM Punk. Okay, whoop the fucking deal. He's not gonna draw you anything.
Especially after all the shit that transpired with him. No.
And I don't know if you heard Eric Bischoff was talking about Punk on his 83 Weeks podcast. And he actually suggested a match featuring Punk to draw up the Wembley Stadium.
Okay.
Who is the one guy who has been linked to AEW since he got released from WWE? Not released, since he didn't resign his contract with WWE. And this was very recent.
Oh, Drew.
Not Drew. Goldberg.
Why? No.
The idea that Eric... Now, again, this didn't come from me. This is from Eric Bischoff. So go listen to 83 Weeks to hear this whole thing. Goldberg's last match, Wembley Stadium. Goldberg versus Punk.
No. Make Goldberg stay away. Because if they pull that route, then they're going to pull the same route that WWE did by bringing in a part-timing legend and taking that spot away from someone that actually fucking deserves that opportunity.
Again, right. It wasn't me who said it. Talk to Eric Bischoff.
Yeah, and there's a reason why WCW closed 5 years after they were successful.
I would say you have him on speed dial.
No, I don't.
I'm being sarcastic.
Listen, they were great for 83 weeks, then they went down the shits, and that's why they lost.
Yeah, I've seen that happen to people where they go down the shits real quick. But moving on.
But no. If they bring in Goldberg for that shit, I am not watching AEW anymore. I'm saying that straightforward. Because that is a massive disrespect for the entire roster. You're bringing in someone and giving him a spotlight match on basically AEW's biggest fucking show, whereas that can be given to someone else.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong on that at all.
That's like okay. Let me just use that hypothetically here. You have the four pillars: Jungle Boy, Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara, and MJF. Obviously, MJF is going to be a part of it because, why not?
Yeah.
But, imagine if it's if they somehow decide to do a triple threat between the three of them, but then you take out basically one of the bigger names out of the three, Darby Allin, and replace him with Goldberg, then that's like, what? That defeats the fucking purpose, because the match will only be 2.5 minutes long, because Goldberg gets blown up even before he gets to the fucking ring.
Yeah.
Like, pretty much his entrance will be longer than the fucking match.
Yeah, I have a big problem with it. But folks, if you're watching this right now, you're watching this later on, let us know in the comments below what you think about this whole thing with AEW Collision starting on the middle of June. But I want to get to one more thing before we wrap up for tonight. And that would be
Ooh.
What happened?
Sorry, so I'm watching hockey right now.
Okay.
Rangers and Devils.
What's the score?
3-0 Rangers with a little under 13 minutes left in the third period.
Oh, jeez. Well, I want to get into Rebellion.
Ah, yes.
Impact Wrestling held Rebellion this past weekend, and we have some new champions.
Why, yes.
I'm going to run through the card quickly here. Let me go through the pre-show matches first, or what they call their pre-show matches. Crazy Steve defeated Sheldon Jean. I don't know who the hell Sheldon Jean even is.
No idea.
Champagne Singh and Shira defeated Heath and Rhino.
Okay.
The Coven, which is Kylan King and Taylor Wilde, defeated the Death Dolls to retain the Knockout World Tag Team Championship.
Ah, okay.
Now for the actual card itself. And I'm not kidding you with the name of this, Ryan. Do you know what the team of Ace Austin and Chris Bay is?
Yeah.
What?
Oh, no, I know the team. What was the team name?
ABC. Yeah, ABC.
Oh, God.
They defeated DEF.
No, it's D through Z.
They defeated Motor City Machine Guns to retain the Impact World Tag Team Championship.
Wasn't that the X Division match?
Yeah, that was for the Ultimate X.
Ultimate X, sorry.
And a 4-on-3 handicap match. Okay. Dirty Dango, Joe Hendry, and Santino Marella defeated the Design. And
I did.
Go ahead.
Talk!
What are you talking about?
You talk!
Oh. Which was the team of Cody Deaner, Alan Angels, and Sammy Callahan. Oh, and Khan.
Now I can talk about that. I was waiting for you to finish.
Okay, go ahead.
The way that they won was that a certain someone turned on his own team.
Was it somebody who goes from this to this?
Oh, yeah. He got sick and tired of Diener's bullshit and said, fuck you. Ping! With a baseball bat.
Yep. PCO defeated Eddie Edwards in a last rights match.
I heard that was intense.
Trey Miguel defeated Jonathan Gresham and Speedball Mike Bailey for the Impact and to retain the Impact X Division title.
Oof.
In a 10 wrestler hardcore war match.
Oh, God.
You had Team Dreamer, which was Tommy Dreamer, Giardra, Frankie Kazarian, and Killer Kelly, and Umura, I think is how you pronounce the last name.
Oh, Umura.
Which, by the way, also from everybody here, I do want to send my regards out to Tommy Dreamer, who did announce at the show that he is going to be taking some time away from pro wrestling to be with his mother, who is currently not doing well.
Very ill.
Yes, very ill. So from everybody here, Tommy, we send our best wishes. Defeated Team Bully, which was Bully Ray, Brian Myers, Kenny King, Masha Samovich, and Moose.
There was one spot that I thought was freaking hilarious.
Okay.
Bully Ray is climbing the top of the ladder, and he asks the referees to hold the ladder, and they're not sitting there doing anything about it. They're shaking their heads no. Bully comes down, and he said, "I'm getting sick and tired, of it." All of a sudden, all four officials just start beating the hell out of him.
Yeah,
I thought that was fucking hilarious.
Well, that was to play off the whole thing with Will Hobbs at Revolution.
Yeah.
That's been his thing for a while now. And then not only do we have a new, because we had a vacant Impact World Heavyweight title, we also had a vacant Knockouts title. As it was reported beforehand, both Josh Alexander and Mickie James both had to relinquish their titles due to injuries. So your new Impact World Champion is Steve Maclin. Defeated Kushida. I'm going to say this right now. Steve Maclin, to me, I can believe him as champion.
I do. I do too.
Because with him, when he goes into the whole story about him being in the military, how can you boo him with what that guy has been through?
Absolutely. But there's one key thing you forgot about that.
What?
We had a return before the match.
Yes. And I was going to get to that in a second. I just want to finish up the card here. For the vacant Impact Knockout title.
Which main evented Rebellion, by the way, which I was very happy. Which, by the way, I was very happy to hear that.
Yeah, that really impressed me on that one. Deonna Purrazzo defeated Jordynne Grace to become your 3-time Impact Women's Champion. So now you have the husband and wife duo who are basically at top of Impact Wrestling. But right before the match with Maclin and Kushida, all of a sudden a familiar face returned. And fans of Impact Wrestling may remember him as Magnus from back in the day. But Nick Aldis is back with Impact.
The national treasure.
Yes, he had been away. He had been a free agent since January 1st, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yep, when his contract expired with NWA,
and he had a major fallout with them.
To the fact that he pretty much sat out the rest of his contract, but did independent shows as a big FU to NWA.
Yeah, I think if I remember correctly, I think Nick is also still currently one of the champions for Standalone.
Yes, he is. He's actually the Standalone champion, defeating the Messiah of Old School, Sean Donovan, which he defeated back at Contest of Champions in December.
Which we were there for that. But
boy, were we ever!
Oh yeah, some of us were there all day.
12 hours. No, 15 hours.
Yeah, it was a long day.
Oh, yeah.
It was a long day, and that was definitely fun. Guys, if you miss... actually, let's move on. Let's move on from that. But yes, Nick Aldis is back. Like I said, the fact that you got Maclin out as the top guy in Impact Wrestling, I think it's freaking awesome.
And from the looks of it, it looks like they're teasing Macklin's first opponent for the title.
Which it sucks right now that Mickey's out.
I know.
It fucking sucks.
Can you imagine those two in an intergender match?
Which, if they do it long enough, depending on the extent of Mickey's injury, could happen.
Maybe Bound for Glory when they go to Chicago.
Yeah. But, I mean, overall, though, Ryan, I think there's nothing really else we got to talk about tonight.
I'm trying to think. I know New Japan was in the area this past weekend.
Yes. They had
Capital Collision.
Yes.
Ironically, another collision. And I know they were in Philly on Sunday.
And it was announced that in August, I think it is, August 26th or 7th, they're running back the multi-universe thing again.
Yeah, ironically, because you know what's happening that weekend?
SummerSlam. No, SummerSlam's earlier.
SummerSlam's in July.
No, SummerSlam's first weekend of August.
What's at the end of August?
All In.
Uh-huh.
Which, again, do you know the people who are saying that they're doing All In, then they're going to do All Out the week later?
That's stupid.
They're not. I know we trashed on Boyo TK there beforehand, but I don't think he's that stupid. But Ryan, since we got nothing else to talk about, and like I said, nothing else really to talk about, I'll let you go first. Anything you'd like to promote, social media wise, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Blaine. I truly appreciate you giving me the spotlight to do so. So, oh shit, you actually did. So, uh, you can catch me next Friday at Invictus Pro Wrestling as we present In Bloom 3. As you can see right there at the bottom, there's my Twitter handle at Ryan_MC92. There's the end. Forgot the 92 at the end there, Mr. Blaine.
Don't blame me for that.
Okay, I blame Canada. Which, by the way, Toronto's losing 6-2.
Happy birthday, Costa.
Happy birthday, Costa. Your team's losing. The 29th, I'll be in Rahway, New Jersey for WrestlePro Anarchy. May 6th, I'm back up in Mohegan Sun for Reality Fighting MMA because I announced for MMA as well. The 13th, I am back with Creative Pro Wrestling as they present Homecoming. There may be a good chance I might be heading to the Peachtree State in the beginning of June, as well as possibly going to the Carolinas. Who knows? But yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Ryan_MC92 and at Instagram at WrestlingMC. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And also, you can find me every Tuesday right here on the Around the Roast podcast on the new ATR network.
And before I get to myself, there is one other thing I do want to mention here.
Yes.
If you cannot catch us live, you can catch us on all of our podcasting platforms. You just have to give me at least a couple of days to get the video up, the thing up. But it's usually up within a day or two on all your podcasting platforms, which includes Spotify, Apple, TuneIn, you name it, we're there. The only one we're not there yet for is Google. So if you missed us here, or you didn't get a chance to watch us on our YouTube channel, that's your other option. Let me go now to photo screen.
Yeah.
Model.
Oh, okay.
Guys, it was a fun show tonight. Definitely enjoy it. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be working the show this week. Go to Pro Wrestling Magic. If you're there, come say hi. Don't know yet about next week with Immortal yet. There is a possibility for that one. Obviously, like Ryan said, got Creator Pro coming up, got Titan coming up, be back up for Excite in June, got BCW coming up on Sunday, June 18th.
Yeah.
I'm going to specify that a lot. Sunday, not Saturday, Sunday. And again, guys, if I'm at a show, definitely come by, say hi. If you'd like to follow me on Twitter, it's right there. It's very simple. But yeah, definitely find me on there. And also, one other thing I do want to mention, because it's been brought up to me several times now. Obviously, people know I had an older account on Facebook. And I'm only saying this because I've had a few people message me about this.
Mm-hmm.
If you see on Facebook and you see it's a picture with me and Bully Ray, that is not my account anymore. I want to stress that. That account got hacked. If you want to go to my account, you have to. I want to just make sure I know which profile picture I posted. Oh yeah, now I know which one it was. It was this one. So guys, if you see this on the profile, that it's mine. Okay? If it's the other one, then that's not mine. I just want to stress that clear to everybody, that I am not the guy who's claiming to be me, who's sitting there claiming that, there's no woman's name that starts with an A and ends with an A. Okay? That's not me. I figured, Ryan, you had something to say there.
Nope, I'm good.
Okay. But guys, again, I appreciate everybody who watched this tonight. Definitely love the comments. And again, I am not a nerd. But guys, it was a blast being on tonight. If you want to follow us, you can definitely follow us on all of our social media accounts. We're at Around Rope Show on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. You name it, we're there. We have a boatload of interviews coming up for you guys over the next couple of weeks.
Oh, yes, we do.
Starting tomorrow night, we will be recording an interview with your current Titan champion, heavyweight champion, Mr. Anthony Gangone. In the weeks to come, we will have an interview with Alvin Alvarez, Joey Conway, PJ Savage, and Robert Franklin. And who knows who else will be coming on.
Yeah.
Because I think we're about to do something we've never done before and literally line ourselves up with interview after interview after interview after interview after interview after interview.
Pretty much getting burnt out by the end of Memorial Day.
Exactly. But again, guys, thank you so much for watching us tonight. I definitely appreciate it. And again, guys, you can catch us here every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. In the next couple of weeks, we will have our other shows start to make their comebacks as well, including the Rap and Rock Connection. Sports Balls will be making its return. And you might also see a debuting show. Of a certain.
Yes.
But again, Brian, the only way people will know about that is they have to stay locked into our social media accounts.
I do want to point something out, though, in regards to that show, that upcoming show.
Okay.
Because this actually just happened, and I don't care that I get chastised, but I have it in front of me. Hold on. Ay, coño! Okay. So, John, do you mind full screening me for a hot second?
Sure.
Well, thank you. So,
Hey!
there is a new show that's potentially coming, and it's a musical theater podcast hosted by yours truly called The Curtain Call, where basically I give my personal opinions on, shows that I've seen, which has been a shitload of them. My personal top 10, my top 10 best, top 10 worst, top lists, the whole nine, and also show reviews, in my opinion, and even potentially some guests. And one show I kind of want to talk about because it just ended, and I have the playbill right here in front of me. This right here is playbill from basically the longest running show in history, Phantom of the Opera, which closed after 35 years this past Sunday. So, unfortunately, y'all missed out, but I did hear rumors that's coming back in 2 years with another revival, but that was the original run. Just wanted to point that out. What a phenomenal run they've had, 35 years consecutively. I can't even imagine, a show running that long for so long. But I'll get more into that once my show starts up very soon.
And again, guys, the only way you can know about Ryan's show or Sports Balls or any of the shows we have is you have to stay locked in. And also, folks, if you're watching us over on YouTube, I say this every week, please subscribe. It costs you nothing. It does wonders for us. And with the amount of content we have coming out for you guys over the next couple of weeks, you're not going to want to miss our YouTube stuff.
Absolutely not.
And, Ryan, we're also forgetting another show we will both be at, I think. Maybe.
Which one?
When?
We'll get to that next week.
Yes. But again, guys, for Ryan, I'm John. This has been a Around the Ropes podcast live episode. We'll catch you guys next week. Same time, same channel. But until then, guys, don't be an idiot.